You're tuning into HP the Life Coach, a platform designed to help transform your lives by transforming your mindsets and your habits using personal development techniques. That way you could be living and not existing. So tune on in. The theme of this month is love. The theme of February is love. And today's episode is a very powerful way to connect with your family. We're talking about 3 powerful ways to connect with your family. And the first one is quality time. I believe we should all have quality time. The more time you spend with each other intentionally, the more you could be there and understand each other, right? The next thing I think about, open and honest communication. Because if you don't tell people how you truly feel, how they gonna know? And if you're not honest, you're not gonna set those boundaries about things that are bothering you or not bothering you. And last but not least, I think we should also have acts of kindness and support, right? We should uplift each other, not put each other down. So let's jump on into today's episode, starting off with quality time. What's a good way for you guys to spend quality time as a family? Who does not like destroying their family in Uno? I know I do. I took a good game whether I win or lose, right? I'm gonna make sure we talk that trash. I don't care if you're in the lead with just 1 card and you call the Uno and I have 5 cards in my hand. I'm still gonna tell you you're gonna lose and I'm gonna win. A lot of families break apart over Uno, so maybe don't bring Uno to the family game night, but any other game will do. Something that I do with my daughter is cooking. We make pizzas, we go get ice cream, we make ice cream cones, ice cream sundaes, we will make a little bit of dinner. I'll put her on the counter and I'll be like, hey, mom, mix that up right there. And she'll mix it up for me. And she'll be like, ooh, what's this? And I'm like, oh, that's just a little bit of X, Y, and Z. And she'll be like, oh, I like X, Y, and Z. I'm like, word, me too. Right? So I get to see how she likes certain flavors and whether she wants to have this in the meal or whether she doesn't want to have this in the meal. And so she feels like she has a little bit of autonomy. She has a little power, a little control. She gets a choice, right? And because she has that autonomy, that power, the control, she's more willing and more inclined to eat the food. And then we get to have time together, sitting down, eating the meal. Not just cooking the meal, but also eating the meal. So now we have double the fun and double the intentional quality time together. I love it. What's another way you can spend quality time with your family? If you're anything like me, which, I don't know, I'm alright or whatever. Nah, I'm playing, I'm cool peoples, right? If you're anything like me, you're probably gonna wanna be outside in nature. I love a good hike. I love a good beach view. I love a good sunset. I love a good campfire. I love a good s'more session. I love a good trail up the mountain. I love a good dive into a body of water. Trust me, I'm all for outdoors. I love the elements. I love what God put on this earth, and I love that we can appreciate and I love that we can appreciate and be a part of it, right? Anytime I'm sitting around nature, I sit down on the rocks and I put my feet in the water, stand a little fire, and I will meditate. I will pray, I will connect with nature, and I'll thank God for this opportunity. And I love the fact that my daughter is getting older now, because now I get to bring her along in my experiences and my journey. And so that's something that we get to do together as well. And so I don't know about you guys, but personally for me, myself, and I, as well as my family, what I like to do, is have fun. So quality time could be anything that you guys get to do, that you love to do, that they love to do, and then doing it together. Find a way to make those things connect, right? So if you guys like games, you guys like puzzles, you guys like quality time together, you guys like movies, whatever works for you. Write down in the comments below what you think is a great quality time to have with your family, or you think that someone else should experience with their family, something that you've done already that you want to share with other people. So another way you can connect with your family and have a very powerful connection is to have open and honest communication. And one way to do this is to have intentional time when you're having family meetings. Some families will tell their families no technology at the dinner table. Why? It sets the standard for having intentional conversations. It sets the standard for having intentional quality time. It sets the standard for at least no technology for this moment. Let your mind be, let your body be, let your spirit rest, let your emotions rest, let your eyes rest, and just nourish yourself. It sets the standard for what is self-care. You don't have to be attached to this device all day, every day, right? Because it's just a phone. We weren't born with it, and we're not gonna die with it. It's gonna be gone. But some people hold on to it like it's an appendage. I mean, it's like it's a part of their body. It's like a fifth, or it's like a 6th finger. You said a 5th finger. It's like a 6th finger, right? It's just, you have 6 fingers on here. That's your phone right there. It's like it just grew. I gotta be there. Touch. So one of the ways you could do that is to, remove technology for an hour every day and spend time together talking, having a meeting, a family meeting. You could do that over dinner, or you could do that just have a regular family meeting. And in this family meeting, you get to discuss about what you think, what you feel, what you want to do moving forward, right? The things that bothered you, the things that make you feel good, the things that you like, the things you enjoyed. And you could talk about how you could expand that, or you talk about how you can remove this and mitigate this, right? You talk about how, I don't like that, but I will help support the family in doing this because I understand the growth and progress for our overall legacy, aka our last name, right? Not our first name, but our last name. So sometimes it could be that simple. Sometimes it can get emotional. Sometimes it can get out of pocket. But here's the thing: if you want to move together as a unit and you want to progress very far, you have to have those conversations. All right? A company does not have discussions that are meaningless. They're going to have discussions that are going to be towards the company's growth and betterment, enrichment, right? So if you want to have that same type of growth at home, you need to have open and honest communication. You need to be transparent. You need to say things that maybe not people don't want to hear, but say them in a way that is receptive, right? It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. In order to have a family meeting, you need to have another skill: active listening. Communication does not happen just one-sided. One person says everything and the other person just listens. No, it requires one person to say something and the other person to actively listen, meaning they actually hear what their person's saying, not listening to respond, but listening to understand. There's a key difference in that, right? I'm listening to respond. Okay, I heard what you said, but I'm gonna say what I gotta say anyways. No, that's not listening. Active listening is, okay, I acknowledge what you said. I hear you. Here's my solution or response to that statement you made. And that shows that you actually care about what they're saying, you're receptive to what they're saying, you're acknowledging what they're saying, and you're able to progress moving forward with what they're saying. And then you can state your piece, and they can also do the same with you, right? So it's a requirement in a communication where some person encodes information and the other person decodes the information, meaning one person sends information, the other person receives information. Once that happens and it's acknowledged, now the other person sends it and the other person receives it. So it goes crisscross. And that's called communication. That's called the conversation. So you need to be able to hear the other person and their needs and their desires in order to understand where they're coming from. And another way to have open and honest communication with your family, you gotta think about it. What's gonna make someone wanna open up around you if you're constantly pestering them? Nothing. You did this wrong, you did that wrong, you can't do this, you can't do that, I don't believe this, I don't believe that, you lie, you this, he's bad. If you're constantly making someone feel bad for something, they're never gonna wanna do anything with you, especially open up and communicate with you. So the one thing you'd want to do is celebrate their achievements. Your cousin graduated high school, clap it up, celebrate, go on dinner, go out to lunch, do something, right? Do something they want to do. Your mom got a promotion, word, awesome. Your dad started that business, congrats. Celebrate the achievements of your loved ones. Your kid got an A at school, even a B, and they were getting C. Come on now. Think about how they're living their life and their progress, where they're at, right? There's a bar, and this bar is loaded up to 10%. And whatever their goal is, they gotta get it. The only way they can get to it is if they reach this progress bar to get to 100%. And once they reach 100%, congratulate them. Encourage them along the way. You see somebody running a race, clap for them. Yay, let's go, keep going, let's go, right? And then once they get to the end and they pass that threshold, that finish line, you really celebrate. You jump out your chair cheering, yeah! That's awesome. It's a great feeling. It's rewarding. It's incentivizing. So when you talk to people in a manner that's like, hey, I celebrate you. I want to see you win. I want to see you succeed. I believe in you. I cheer for you. I pray for your success, right? When you do that, you encourage them to want to open up to you because they believe that you genuinely care for them. But you have to do this in a way that actually means something. You can't just say this shit and think it's okay. No, you have to really genuinely appreciate this person and celebrate them because people can feel the difference in energy, right? So you can't fake or half-ass this whole situation, be like, yeah, you're doing so good, and then meanwhile, you're rolling your eyes. No, you have to genuinely, from the bottom of your heart, the depths of your soul, congratulate people, right? And it's okay to do a surface level clap and da-da-da-da, but just understand when you get a surface level clap, you get a surface level response as well, right? Because what you put out, comes back to you. What you sow, you reap. So don't get mad when you give out half-ass energy and people give you half-ass energy back. Genuinely support people, genuinely care for people, genuinely put on for people, right? And when you do that for people, they put on for you too. Don't do this so that people can put you on. Do this so that you actually care about people. Do this because you actually want to see someone succeed. Do this because you actually genuinely believe in someone, right? And you'll see the difference, the subtleties. So celebrate their success, right? So what did I say again? I talked about if you want to have open, honest communication, have meetings. Have those meetings. Sit down with them. Listen, right? There's a quote that goes, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means we should do more listening than speaking. Think about it. The best way to communicate with someone is to listen. More intelligent individuals are more receptive to listening to what you got to say. They under speaking their own mind. And that's another thing. Not everyone's willing to receive your advice. So ask, right? When you're actively listening, you're genuinely listening to see, am I giving advice to you, or am I just listening to what you got to say? Sometimes people just want to vent, especially in family dynamics. Maybe at work it's towards progressing or just gossiping, right? But you want to work towards progression. But not everyone's ready to progress. So when it comes to family life, it's a little bit different, right? We're not just going to give advice for no reason. Ask, hey, are you in a space to be giving advice, or do you want me to just listen to what you got to say so you can vent it out? What's the goal here? And then you do that, it's beautiful. And then celebrate them. Right after they open up to you, celebrate the fact that they open up to you as well. Not just, their achievements in life, but celebrate their vulnerabilities. Celebrate the fact that they said, hey, I got something I want to share with you, and I trust you enough to share this with you. And I believe in our communication, and I believe in our connection enough that I know you're going to keep this between you and I. And if you're not going to keep it between us, it's because it's going to help me grow as a person, right? Think about those things and celebrate them. Say, hey, thank you so much for trusting me, to be vulnerable around me, to speak your mind with me. I really appreciate that. Think about that impact. How does that make them feel? What does it make them think? What do they want to do after that? What's that connection like after you grow with them, right? Because people feel that. If you're tired like I am of all the lame excuses people are giving themselves on how they can't change their life, then tap in with me. Why? Because I believe if you have a mindset shift and a habit shift, you have a life shift. And if you want to transform your life, tap in with the link below. And if you grab my mindset course, I'll even give you the book for free. Use the code below and go to the link at hforthelifecoach.com and watch as you transform your life starting now. All right, and last but not least, another way for you guys to connect with your family and be very powerful with it is to do acts of kindness or acts of support. Right? We all love somebody doing something for us. Hey, I'm starving. You tell your partner, they go make you a plate of food. Isn't that awesome? Right? Your wife or your husband comes home and they say, babe, I'm starving. And your wife or husband says, hey, I got a plate ready for you. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that like an amazing feeling that knowing someone cared for you enough to make you a plate? Whether you said you're hungry just now, or you got home and it was already prepared for you, or you go and make it together, isn't that a great, satisfying feeling that someone thought about you and cared enough about you to go and do something for you? Isn't that great? Yeah, it's rewarding. So it's also rewarding to have that gratitude at the end of it, right? So when we talk about acts of services, we think about making the burden less for someone else, right? I know you had a hard day at work today, so when you get home today, I'm not gonna ask you to do chores. Nah, I'm gonna ask you to sit down. Let me rub your feet, right? So you can relax. You're probably walking all day, or just chill out. And even though I may have had a hard day at work today, I'm in a better space emotionally or mentally where I can take care of myself and I can be there for you. That's how a relationship works. It gives and takes. That's how a family works, give and take. But true relationship doesn't need to take anything. It gives, and it keeps pouring. As long as the other person is also pouring, giving, right? Because you keep giving, guess what? We pour into each other, naturally. I don't have to take anything from you because you keep giving to me. You don't have to take anything from me because I keep giving to you. There's three types of people in this world. There's takers, there's givers, and then there's people that are reciprocators. A giver is someone who just gives naturally, and they don't know how to take or reciprocate. They just give because that's who they are naturally. A reciprocator is a person that gets, okay, you gave me something, I have to give you something back. Because if I don't, I feel bad. However, if you give something to me and I don't give something to you and you keep giving to me, I'm okay with that. So I don't have to give to you. I'm just going to keep receiving. I don't need to reciprocate if I don't want to, if I don't feel like I need to. And then there's a taker. There's a person that just keeps taking. They are the worst people for givers because the giver doesn't know when to say no. So you have to be mindful of the relationships you have with people, right? Are you constantly pouring into people who are not pouring back into you? Are you celebrating the people that are pouring into you? I'm not saying stop doing things for people. Just be mindful of the people who are pouring back into you and the people that are pouring into you when you don't do anything for them at all, right? There's a quote that goes, a man's character can be judged when he talks to someone who can't do anything for him. Think about that. If you can't do anything for me, how do I treat you? How am I talking to you? How am I emotionally considering your needs and your desires? You can't do anything for me. So how am I going to be of service to you Am I considerate of your thoughts and desires and needs? Do I even look at you as a human? Do I treat you with kindness and utmost respect? Because that says a lot about me and my character, not you. So when you genuinely love somebody, just surprise them with a little bit of act of kindness every now and then. Oh, they forgot to take out the trash, you take it out. Oh, they forgot to put their cup in the sink, you put it in the sink. Oh, you know their favorite cookies, the peanut butter chocolate chip with the whatever, you get that for them. Leave them a little note on their desk at work saying X, Y, and Z. Oh, I really appreciate you doing X, Y, Z. Leave a little note in the fridge on top of their favorite drink. You just don't know how that level of kindness can uplift their entire day. Like, oh my God, you thought about me in that way? That's so sweet. Right? And that'll uplift your spirit, uplift your mood, increase your day, change your attitude to an attitude of gratitude, increase your altitude from an altitude that's low to an altitude that's high. It'll make you feel so on top of this world. It's amazing. How are you doing that for other people? How are you showing up for them? Just think about those things. So if you do these things for other people, you're just showing up for them, you're kind to them, you're nice to them. Out of nowhere. Not because you want anything back from them, just because you want to do it. Think about how that impacts their life. Think about that. When you put good out to the world, to the universe, it comes back to you 10, 50, and 100 fold. So when you naturally just give, you're naturally going to receive. But don't give to receive, just give to give, and you will naturally receive. Listen, life's not easy. And we know that everyone goes through challenges. There are tough days, there are bad days, there are worse days. That's life. It ain't gonna get easier. However, when you love someone and you care for them, you understand that life's gonna be hard. And when you care for them, sometimes, at least with kids, you let them go through challenges, right? That they have to face so they can grow. They have to face it alone so they can grow. But then there's other times where you support them in challenges. You aid them, right? Because you know that, hey, this is an area where if I support you, you can exceed well beyond your means. And I want to see you excel. I want to see you be the best. I want to see you become everything you're destined to be. And family out there that need you, they want you to help them, to support them. Even if they don't need your help or support, they want it. They just want your time with them sometimes. So think about that. When your kid asks for help on homework, sometimes they don't need help on homework. Maybe they just want you to be there with them. Your partner might be going through something at work and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. Maybe you could just sit there and listen to them. Or maybe you can give some advice, right? Maybe your brother or sister has a project that they're working on and they need your advice or they need your support. Wouldn't it be helpful if you just came along and sat down with them until they completed it? When's the last time you needed help on a project and no one was there to help you? How did that make you feel? Didn't you want someone there to help you? Wouldn't you wish that someone did come and help you? Do you think that if you help your friends now or your family now and you have a project in the future that maybe, just maybe, the more you consistently show up for them, maybe they might show up for you? Maybe. So what we do with the ones we love is important because it displays a certain level of, I'm here for you. I'm supporting you. I encourage you. And when we do that, it impacts and shapes their life and their confidence level. Their level of achievement shifts. They aim higher. Who remembers that time when you were a kid or young and maybe your maternal guardian or paternal guardian said to you, hey, you can do better. I know you can. Don't worry, you got this. Hey, I believe in you. You got this. And then what happened? That it changed you on the inside. It said, oh my God, I could do this. And then you brought out a different side of you. Right? Sometimes a parent going up to a game, when you're at a game, like playing basketball or football or track, whatever the case may be, a sports team, right? And your parent shows up, your auntie shows up, your uncle shows up, your grandparents show up, somebody in your family, your whole family shows up. Or maybe just that one person. Doesn't that change how you play? Don't you put your game face on that much harder? Think about these things, right? How we show up for our loved ones is crucial. You got a recital to go to? So just naturally supporting each other, putting on for each other, doing the best that we can to be there for each other is crucial, because it changes everything. It allows possibilities for us to grow that much more. And last but not least, but if you got somebody in your life doing all these things for you, always showing up for you, always being there, always showing support, always challenging you, always holding you accountable, always being honest with you, always spending quality time with you, doing the right things with you, pushing you in the right direction, there's a certain level of gratitude that you might face one day. Like, I don't know about you, but I will never be able to thank my mom for the life I have on this earth. Just can't. What am I going to give life to her? I can't do that. But I will always be grateful. So there's things you can say, things you can do, things you can show that demonstrates your level of gratitude. Right? You could write a letter. You can send a gift. You could do a chore for them. Or a task for them. You can help them out. You can give them a hug, a kiss. You can do whatever you got to do to show them gratitude. What does gratitude look like for you, though? Again, these are 3 powerful ways that I believe we can connect with our families and become stronger units. Quality time, open and honest communication, and acts of kindness and services. As always, stay blessed and beautiful. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.